So good morning. So I'm doing a couple of things different today. My space is always different. I'm constantly changing the room and how it looks. So I like to explore the room with my yoga practice and try the yoga in this space and see how I feel. If I feel like things are too close, too far, too something, I like to try it out. So this morning for class, this is a restorative yoga. This is something to calm you down from the past week and the weekend and prep you, relax you, and calm any maybe anxiety or fear you have about anything coming up this week. This will be a nice kind of stretchy and peaceful yoga. My quads are feeling really tight from my past workouts. So there's going to be, of course, I love lower body, so there's going to be a lot of lower body today. I personally will not be using any props, but props are an option. That's always something you can use, but I'm just not using them. I may describe a little bit, but this is also going to be a bit of a quieter yoga. So I'm going to try not to explain and talk as much. If you've been following my classes a bit, you know how I like to get into detail, especially if it's a new class that I'm doing like restorative yoga, because there are so many options. But if you have questions about anything, please reach out to me, let me know. If you are wondering about props, give me a shout and be like, yo, Carm, what prop can I use here, here, and here? So you may hear I have the fan going on in the background. That's okay, it's like a nice white noise. Like I said, I'm doing things upstairs today. I also wanted to include my animals because I've been doing yoga in a different space or outside or in my studio, in my home studio. Usually I have like the wonderful colorful artwork behind me, but today we're upstairs in the house like most people. So you may hear cars, you may hear motorcycles, you may hear just all these things. But that's a fun part of, you know, any yoga practice or workout or meditation really is even in life, being able to find peace when there's chaos around you. And this includes, most of you also know, when Bun Bun is around, because this is his awake time. He likes to be up early, and in the evening that he sometimes likes to chew on the stand that my camera is on, or he likes to chew on my phone. So don't let this ruin your practice. If I have to stop, I will still go through and explain something. It's just I need to get Bun Bun from chewing the camera stand because he does enjoy being on the mat also. So I'll try to keep his attention over there or to his house, which is to, I guess, your right, my left. And yeah, let's get going. So I'm gonna take a moment, put up something real quick, and we'll get going. So, and we won't be standing a lot in this one. So it won't matter if you can't see me on a certain part, just that, you know, you can, oh shoot. I gave Bunny a little bit of vegetable and I just stepped on it. But yeah, so it's okay if you can't see me all the time on the part because most of this restorative stuff is lower body. So you'll mostly just know that I will call out the pose. So we're gonna get started as always. At this point, like I said, it's a restorative and we're gonna get seated, and I will start adding to some of the classes some music. I've been working on a little bit of rhythm and stuff to kind of add to the background of these two, so it'll be really nice. But for right now, you know, put on your favorite playlist maybe, put on your favorite tune, and just enjoy this moment. In this class, it won't be very long today, although I always say that, and then we go long. So, I guess this is one that awakens and heals the body and mind, your relaxation response, and restorative yoga also helps to balance and repair the nervous system and the body. So that's why it's such a wonderful class to take, no matter what your workout, and why they say it's restorative. It's restorative, it's healing, it's helping the body and mind. So let's get started in the sitting position. All right, so we're just gonna take a moment to get settled in. Close your eyes if you would like. I will try to speak up so you can hear me. Or, you know, trip the volume, or just watch along while you have your playlist going. And take a moment to sit and just start to find yourself in this moment. Like I said, we're calming down from the weekend and preparing for the week. Sorry for any shakes. Bun Bun has already decided to try to chew Bun Bun on my camera cord. So this is something fun that I said I like to have my animals with me, but sometimes they get a little too wild. So while you're sitting in this moment, like I said, we're coming together for a moment. You're taking time for yourself to just be and find some peace in the chaos around you, as I am within my own home currently. Just focus on your breathing. So you bring awareness to your breath. Maybe start to also work on your posture. Starting to raise that back. And bringing up good posture. Back is up straight. Shoulders are down and relaxed. Head has some height, but it is easier to breathe if you have just a slight minor tilt down to get that oxygen flowing. And maybe you just want to sit in peace. Others of you may want to begin to possibly bring an intention into mind of where you want to take yourself this week. Maybe think about what you can control. We can control our body, our attitudes, and our interactions. Or shall I say response to people's interactions. Okay, and as before, if your eyes were closed, slowly start to blink them back open. Now that you have your intention in mind, we're going to get a little side stretch here. So just keeping that back straight. And take the right arm over, left arm down, and bring that arm overhead to the side, getting a nice side stretch here. Within each pose we do today, take about 3 calming, slow breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth, getting a little wider, taking that stretch a little deeper each time. And release. Now switching over to the other side, bringing that arm back down and laying that forearm on the mat as the left arm comes around for a nice side stretch on that left side. 3 breaths. And release, coming back to center. Now, you're going to want to turn towards the front of your mat, releasing those legs out, front of you. Getting a little movement within the legs, maybe lifting the knees and dropping them again. Flexing the feet, bringing them back up, pointing those toes, and then flexing them, and then releasing them back to neutral. And we're going to take the right foot, put it over our left leg. Give yourself a squeeze into your knee as you breathe. And then we're going to do a nice stretch in our back and our side and our upper body. Taking our left arm over inside our right leg for a nice stretch in the back. 3 breaths. And releasing, coming in and hugging that right knee and leg again. Releasing, uncrossing that right leg, setting it down and bringing in the left leg, crossing it over the right. Once again, come in for a hug, take a breath. And as you release, start to do the same. Right arm over that left leg and coming in for a nice stretch and like a nice little spinal twist here. 3 breaths. Some nice music. All right, and releasing, bringing the body back into center to neutral, hugging that left leg, and releasing, and bringing it out right next to your right. Extending legs, we're gonna go into a nice forward fold and hold. So we're gonna take the arms up, and getting a nice stretch. Maybe lift each cheek, each leg, each bum, getting a little movement there. And dropping the arms, dropping the shoulders, and then ready, lifting the arms again. And folding over, feet flexed. My hamstrings are so tight. And releasing, coming back up. Remember, that's 3 breaths each position. So release, bring those arms back to neutral. Bring that back up. Get a little movement here, side to side. Maybe taking your neck side to side, getting a nice stretch on the left side as you tilt your head to the right. And getting a nice stretch on the right side as you tilt your head to the neck. Coming back to center, back to neutral. We're going to take those legs, and it doesn't matter how you get to next position, whether you bring them in, cross them over, and come over into tabletop, or if that's a little tricky for you, just going to take them around your body and come into tabletop position. 3 breaths. Cat-cow. Let's go. Filling that belly in with air as you breathe into cow position. And release into cat, releasing that oxygen. 3 breaths. Be holding that core in. To go through, just tightening up just a little bit to get some core action going. And coming back to neutral, back to center at tabletop. You may have noticed I do a little facial stretching there. If you do lion, sometimes when you're going into cow position, you'll have your mouth open, tongue out. That lion's breath, that lion's roar. So coming back in a tabletop neutral position, get a little side stretch. 3 breaths, inhaling as you go to the right, and center, and exhaling as you go to the left. And center. When you're finished with those 3 breaths and that side stretch, come back to tabletop and neutral. And what you're going to do next is you're going to go take a quick child's pose if you need to move back on the mat a little bit. Now do whatever's comfortable for you. If your knees are fine where you are and you just want to lean back into child's pose, that is fine. If you want to get down a little deeper, take your knees mat width apart and go into a wider child's pose. For some of you that might feel a bit more comfortable, this is a pose where you might use a prop. 3 breaths. And coming back up onto tabletop, bringing those knees in. Maybe doing a little stretch back into normal child's pose if you did wide leg. And coming back up in the tabletop, and we're gonna get on those toes, and we're gonna do a little rock back. Stretch out those toes, and then a little rock forward. Stretch out those hands, those wrists. A little rock back, just a gentle rock. And a little rock forward to release that breath. One more. Little rock back. And a little rock forward. Release that breath. Come back to neutral. Come back to center. A little rock to the side. A little rock to the other side. Still engaging those toes. Engaging those wrists. One more little rock to the right side. Little rock to the left side. Coming back into center. We're going to take those toes, we're going to go right into downward dog. So coming up slowly and walking the hands back if you need. Downward dog we go. I need to pedal out these feet. Really my calves, they're so tight from the weekend, from my workouts. 3 breaths. Take some nice stretches and movements as you need. Rolling out side to side. Now, downward dog, remember your feet are out a little bit wider. If you have your feet in together, that's mountain pose. That's also known as mountain pose. So a little bit wider. Downward dog. Nice stretch in that back. Forward, a little plank for a moment if you need. I really need it. One last breath in downward dog. I'm going to bring that left leg in a little bit. We're going to take this right leg, just do a little lift. And then bring your toe down, do a nice tap. And lift that leg again a little bit higher. And take that toe back down for another tap. Remember to focus on your breathing and bring it a little bit higher. Down for a tap. Start to bend that left knee as you tap that right toe that last time. And you're going to take that right leg in, drop it down, drop that left knee at the same time. Slowly move up towards your mat, straighten out, drop that left foot. Here you are in pigeon pose. Let's get a nice stretch. 3 breaths. Palms on the mat, back bent just a little bit. And after that 3rd breath, drop down, get a little deeper. Watching my bun run around. Oh, he does that. After that last breath, slowly rise. Those palms back to the mat. You're going to put those toes back up on that left leg. Pick up that knee. Start to pick up that body, take that right leg, move it back up to the sky, back into 3-legged dog,
And you're gonna tap that right leg. You need to position yourself a little bit further. And tap that right leg. Take it a little lower. Tap that right leg. Take it a little lower. Bring it back up. Tap that right leg. Bring it up one more time. And bring it down to the mat to meet your left foot. Get readjusted if you need. Then back into that downward dog for a nice stretch. And move into chaturanga if you please, or stay in downward dog. Move from plank, chaturanga, back to downward dog if you may. If you're not as warmed up, that may not feel good. Another way to do it is to go down into plank. Slowly come down to the mat. Drop those feet. Drop your hands to the mat. Do just a little stretch. Because when you do that stretch, when you do chaturanga, you are stretching out those side muscles and that hip muscle, and it might be a little tight. You don't want to pull something. But if you were warmed up or feeling like me as I was walking dogs in the morning, then it's okay just to chaturanga, go back into downward dog, or like I said, you just come down to the mat, do that little back stretch, back up into plank, go back into downward dog. And we're going to take the same movement, 3 breaths, the left leg, and start to bring that little right leg in a little bit. Take that left foot, pick it up just a tad, and drop it for a tap, and lift up a little bit, and drop it for another tap, and pick it up one more time, and drop it for another tap. Pick it up, and start to slowly bend that right knee as you're dropping that foot too. Make sure you can support yourself. And as you bend that right knee, you're going to take that left foot in and through, and drop that knee down by your left hand. Drop those right toes, maybe get situated, add a little length. If you need to adjust, please do. 3 breaths. Drop to the floor after your 3rd breath. To rise back up. Take those toes, lift that knee, get that support, palms on the mat, and lift that left leg back. And before you drop it down, maybe crawl back into your downward dog if you need. Give a little bit of support here, get adjusted. Have that left leg up that whole time, then 3-legged dog. Drop that left toe for a tap. Take it up just midway, drop it for a tap. Pick it up once more, drop it up for a tap, pick it up one last time, and bring it right next to that right foot. Going back into downward dog and staying for a moment, or moving through chaturanga, or if you still need to warm up a little bit, just dropping down to that mat. Chaturanga, and back into downward dog. Taking a breath. So paddle out those calves if you need. All right, and coming up, we're going to take that right leg again. We're going to lift that right leg up, and we're going to take it through, dropping down as into warrior. But before we go up into warrior, you're going to have that right leg in between your hands. Get a nice stretch here. Look forward, stretch. Lengthening the head, the neck, dropping those shoulders down. And then come up and around into warrior, taking that left leg out, right leg front, coming into warrior. Nice deep stretch here. We're going to stay here a moment. We're going to come up, bring that leg up, and you're going to slowly either drop your right arm to that right leg and have it here on your leg, or like I said, if you're warmed up, you want to take it a little bit deeper, that's fine. If you want to have it straight down below, that's fine. Maybe lift that gaze to the sky. It's a nice half angle here. There's Bun chewing stuff again. Extended side angle.
And when ready, you can come back up slowly from the leg and up. Or if you're ready, just lift back up, bend that leg back into warrior. Then take that arm, we're gonna go back and do a nice little crescent, nice little side back stretch, and release, and then arms over around that leg again, palms to the mat, take that right foot, back up, and drop it down. Once again, either stay in downward dog, go slow down to the mat, or flow through chaturanga. Or just do a little jump into upward dog for a moment, and then back into downward dog. Whatever feels good for you. Then we're going to take that left leg high, coming up, and bringing it through, in between, landing it in between your hands. Once again, we're going to do warrior but on the other side. So before we do that there, get a nice stretch with the front, lengthening head, lengthening neck, dropping those shoulders, stretch, not strain. When ready, drop that back foot as you wrap your arms around, right leg to the back, left leg to the front this time. Drop that knee into warrior. That feels good. And then you're going to take that leg, straighten it out a bit. Now you have your triangle. Then we go into side angles. Like I said, either here, left leg, left knee, not on your knee, but below your knee, or maybe on the top, depending on how far you can stretch. Or down to your foot, or down to the mat. Gaze to the sky. Nice leg. Remember, all these are 3 breaths. And come back up, either crawl back up your leg, or come back up, lift that left arm and take the right arm down. And have yourself a little side stretch here, a little crescent move. Come back up, bring that left arm around. Palms on the outside of your feet as you go bending back into that leg. We're going to take that left leg back, bring it high, and drop it back down. Downward dog, or chaturanga, or just go down for a quick little cobra, or right into up dog, and then back into downward dog. 3 breaths. You should feel that downward dog, the backs of your feet, getting a little bit lower to the mat now. Calves feeling a little bit more stretched out. Bun looks like a little vacuum right now. He's just sucking up all the little treats and eats on the floor. His treats and eats, his hay, his flowers. And coming back, we're going to go from downward dog into plank. Slowly come down to the mat, controlled. Dropping feet, dropping hands to sides. Take a moment, take a breath, 3 breaths. Facing either side, just relax. That 3rd breath, hands, come back facing mat, lifting up slowly for a nice stretch, and then slowly going back into child's pose once more, final child's pose. Maybe either right up under you for change if you did knees mat width apart, or if you did right up under you last time, go and try child's pose with knees mat width apart. 3 breaths. That 3rd breath, creep those arms back to the front of the mat, slowly coming down. Once more, taking a moment, laying the mat for a moment, 3 breaths. third breath. Bring those hands up under your shoulders again. We're gonna do something a little bit different. Let's see, I'm a little bit close to this cabinet, but we're gonna lift first our right leg. We're gonna put left arm out to your side. And you're gonna lift that right leg, and you're just gonna slowly act as if that toe is guiding your right leg to that left side. You're gonna let it pull you and extend to the left side as much as you can for a nice stretch, especially in that upper arm and that shoulder. If this is uncomfortable, don't extend your right arm. Have it folded and just do a little twist here and stop there. That's fine. But if you can, extend that left arm out. Twist out that right leg. Nice stretch here. 3 breaths. 3 breaths. And slowly release. Bringing that right leg back in, over, and placing it back down. Bringing that left arm back in. We're going to do the same thing on the right. If you can't bend that far, that's no problem. Keep that left arm bent. And just do a little tap there. And just stay there for a moment. Otherwise, extend that right arm. Take that left leg, toe leading across the way, and extend. I actually can't go that far because my cabinet's in the way. So I'll just do a little stretch this time on my left shoulder. 3 breaths. And when ready, take that left leg, guide it back to the center, and bend the knee a little bit. And bring that right arm back in as your left leg falls back to place. Once again, rise up for a nice back stretch and flow into wide mat child's pose. 3 breaths. Remaining in child's pose, remember that it's not even just about relaxing. You still want to feel that stretch. So as you have your knees mat width apart for child's pose, really try to dig into your body. Not in bed, we just kind of push back a little bit more, stretch those arms out a little bit more the opposite direction. And the goal, you want to try to sit that bum a little bit lower while you're stretching out in child's pose. That final breath. And rise up slowly back in a tabletop. Either taking your legs crisscross and fold back into seated position, or just wrap them around and come around you. So I always think it's a little fun to crisscross the legs over and hop back into seated, legs in front. Once again, we're going to take that right foot, cross it over your left leg, hug it in. And this time, instead of stretching towards the back, we're going to just kind of hollow out that tummy and do a nice little back stretch that way. Hug it in again and release. Switching left leg, bringing it in, over right leg, hugging that knee, and hollowing out the belly. Just supporting yourself on that leg. Don't pull that leg, just use it for a nice little weight support. As you hollow out that belly, that kind of stretches that out, opposite than what we were doing, and come back in. Hug that leg. Release. One little shake movement if you need. And bringing those feet in, sitting. And there's all sorts of names for this pose. Easy pose, sit pose, asana. So many names. We're going to sit on our bum. Come back.
breath. 3 final breaths of the session. You're going to take your arms out to the sides, raise them up to the ceiling, palms together. Breath in, breath out. As you take the palms, stopping at your eyebrows, third eye for some of you, all of you. Inhale. As you exhale, dropping those palms down to your lips, where we communicate. Let's communicate love, hope, faith, positivity, and peace. Taking one final breath in for this session. Deep breath in. Make it your best, and exhale. Bring those palms down to chest. Close eyes if you want, or have them open. And while you are here, palms in, maybe get a little situated. Otherwise, come back to that intention that you made at the beginning of class. What is it? Think about it. Thank it for being with you today. And on that final breath of release, release it out to the world, into the universe. Guiding it out, arms apart, and coming back in as you settle in. Bring those palms back in together. I want you to do that again. Releasing that out into the universe, extending arms out, opening that chest. And coming back in, palms to chest, to heart. One more time, extending arms out, releasing that. You're going to give someone a big old hug, and then bring those palms back together. For a moment. I want to thank you for joining me today for this restorative yoga to bring calm, light, peace, maybe even a little bit of happiness and love. Namaste. May the light in me shine through to you. Thank you.